and thinking about protecting your wealth for your family into the future. Ndu, please tell her about it.
So when you think about affluence, you think, okay, wealth, money, Abby.
Mm.
You think, okay, so there's some kind of money. There's coin somewhere. And oftentimes you're not quite sure, okay, so what should I do with it to grow it? So Standard Chartered Bank is saying, you know what, we can actually grow it. What you have, we can actually make it more for you. So where are you putting your money? What are you doing with it? So you can think about many things with Standard Chartered. You can talk about currency bonds, mutual funds, government bonds, and they can guide you through this in all the different major currencies. And for all intents and purposes, Kenya shilling is a major currency. USD, the pound, the euro, where really you want to be able to store your money. So Standard Chartered Bank says, you know what? As you're thinking about growing your wealth, as you're thinking about being an affluent Kenyan, there's a place that you can go to that you can be led and guided.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I think Kariki, Gary, and Nelly, who are people who I know and who have supported me in that space, will be proud to know that I believe in that story.
Very good.
Very much so. Growing money is not what you see on the street, like pata potea, or I'll multiply this for you. And all of us have, many people are falling into the trap. You just put this money here and I'll multiply it for you. So I'm completely sold into wealth creation and securing whatever you have for a longer term use.
Yep.
Yeah, so fantastic to hear. That's what we're talking about this morning.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's called Priority Banking by Standard Chartered. prioritybanking.ke@sc.com. Please send an email there. That's prioritybanking.ke@sc.com. They will get in touch with you and tell you how they can usher you into priority banking and some good banking. City. Please give our group CEO the day's proverb.
Yes, this entire week ending tomorrow, we'll be looking at proverbs from the country of Kenya. The next 2 weeks, we'll be in sub-Saharan Africa. We'll move from Kenya to yet another country. Last week, we were in DRC. Our proverbs for this week are in Kiswahili. We'll ask our guest to tell us what she thinks is the translation of this proverb from Kiswahili into English. That is question number 1. Number 2, we'll ask the guest to tell us what she thinks is the meaning of this particular proverb.
Let's go for it.
Nyumba njema si mlango.
It's over.
That's
It
it.
ended there.
It's done.
It's ended there.
That's it. I told you.
I thought you were going to say Ngia. Ngia ndani.
Ujione.
Let me translate it back in English. A good house is not just a door, right? The way you get treated in that house, the foundation of that house and the rootedness of that house is what a house is. From on the soft side is what sort of a reception and family you find in that house. On the hard, on the technical side is how rooted is it? Just like we are rooted. How rooted is the house? Can it withstand a lot of pressure? And generally the door doesn't really represent the house. When you go inside is when you really know what's inside. Even a person, you get to know a person. You can't judge a person just by looking at them. It's after you know them that you get to know that it's just not the door. It's not what they look like.
Yes.
There's something about them.
And you put it well,
Yeah.
the face isn't just the door.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it. Now, what do you think the originator of this proverb meant? What do you think the meaning is?
Maybe the originator was thinking about the equality of humanity and how consistent people can be in and out of a door. Maybe they had a big house with a small door. Or a big door with a small house. And we're probably just expressing that just explore what's inside instead of judging by the size or the look of the door.
You put it well. In fact, if you look at the architecture that characterizes houses that you find in the coastal region, which is where people say the Swahili language originated from, what looks like just an ordinary building is never an ordinary building. When you open that door, what you find inside will blow your mind away.
Yes.
Because that's when now you see the actual dwelling place. The other is just the wall and maybe the door, but you're spot on.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. Very well done. So, Maureen, the last time you were here, you told us, you're a 1,000-day person. Like working 1,000-day cycles. And when you start up a task, you give yourself 1,000 days to accomplish and do the most you can. But then we pushed you and asked you, okay, but everybody has a 100-day target. How can you be so different? He said, no, you don't operate in 100 days. But yeah, you understand that first of all, you've got to take some time to get into knowing the new environment and where you're working. And then you come up with your strategies of how you're going to run over into the 1,000 days. How many days are you into this job now?
It's been almost 100. By sheer coincidence, it's been almost 100. I came here on the 5th of August. I was in this room probably 90-something days after I joined, and I committed to come after 100 days. And what a journey! What a 100 days it has been. But I mean, we've come to a place after about 3 months. You sort of know what are the pain points and what are the opportunities, and that's the reason we're holding a town hall soon after this, just to share with internal colleagues what direction we want to take towards our transition. But today I really wanted to come and share what it's been like, and really the idea about being a woman leader in a transition such as this one. I mean, Industry 4.0 is not for the faint-hearted, and just what the experience has been, and as a leader, woman or not, as a leader, what it has been like, and I can just go for it. I mean, there's two main things that I've come across that have really given me a stretch. And I've been in many transitions, not in this industry, but every industry is affected by technology. But what we really have seen, and what I've seen, is how important it is to have consensus and stability in a business. And there's some values that as a leader you start tapping on. And I've tapped on about 3 or 4. One of them is just empathy, and how you lead to a higher engagement level. When things are tough, when things are hard, how do you lead people to a higher engagement level? And how do you keep yourself resilient? And resilience is not, being rock hard, but just how do you navigate obstacles, and how do you take care of your personal doubts and your personal wellness, so that you can show up for such a transition as this one. But the main one has been, how do you collaborate with internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, and eventually create a vision that is believable to especially the employees that are remaining behind. And I think that if I think about empowerment and mentoring and championing diversity, which are things that I want to do, I have then come across women leaders around the world, which I would never have if I was not in this industry. And I've read deeply about them and what they've done to navigate through media, through influence, through content, and through what people read and what people hear, and the impressions that they take, and they people react to personal difficulty. And that's been quite a journey, because I've gone from the street vendor. I was in Mombasa on the street with the newspaper vendor, to the partners in the agencies, to the customers who come directly to us, to the embassies, to the various groups of people that are influencing us, and I've learned quite a lot. And with that, then I can have a town hall today just to just be open and truthful about what we need to do as a standard group. And I think many companies, it's not that it's comforting, because you don't want to be in a pool of areas where there's problems. You also want to associate with where there has been good things done, and there's been good things that have happened and will happen, and there are difficult things that have happened and will happen, not only to us but also to other industries. So it's been quite a stretched 100 days for me, very, very different from the ones that I've done before.
Because you've done several. In fact, even the last
Yes.
time you were here, we talked
Yes.
about, you've been in several sectors. You've been in FMCG, you've
Yes.
been in manufacturing, you've actually even done gas, right?
Yes, yes.
And now here you are, it's air, it's not gas. It's different.
It's airtime.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's different.
Yes.
But you told us the structures of a transition, the way you see them, first of all, you start by immersing yourself, getting to understand what the issues are. Because then after you understand, that's when now you come up with, this is then what I think needs to happen going forward.
Right.
And then you start the implementation and you phase out the implementation. So what have you understood? You've told us just from top level, what you've understood. Internally, what have you understood of the business of Standard Group PLC, the industry of the media, from internal publics, and externally, what's the perception that people have of A, the legacy media as we know it, and the Standard Group as a media house?
I think internally is just navigating challenges day by day, and you've seen that internally we've started process mapping in difficult processes in commercial and even in editorial. And if you come to the third floor now, you will see that we've developed KPIs, 5 of them, which I'll share with the team on how to develop a process that leads you to a result. Because you can never achieve a result without a process. So my key thing right now is to implement a performance process that is relatable to the last person in the company. So internally, there's just stability or instability that people feel, and I also include internally the employees who have left the organization recently or in the past, because this Standard Group situation started probably 7 years ago, so it's an old problem. So the nuances and the depth of feeling is quite deep. And I had tea with Marion every Friday with different groups of people, and I've sat in meetings and thought, man, I need to pull, I need to really come up for people, because the reason that we lead as women is because of the feeling we have about people and how they experience their jobs and experience their real lives. So that internally that has been very difficult, and I feel really geared up to solving that issue. Externally, the industry, obviously the disruption is real, and the disruption is a lot more than we see now, and it's not going to stop. If we say we are in a technology age, and we are in an age where news come out every 5 minutes, and this morning's news is going to be old news in another few minutes. It's an industry that's exciting in one way, but also frightening if you're not ready for it. Mm-hmm. So I think digitization is what we spoke about last time, and it's still the same thing. And real digitization that gives people new news every time, and that is truthful, but also that is accurate, that also timely. So that's what I've learned about the external environment. And then about our partners, and I just thank many of them who have said, look, we thought that's it. But we've got another big bite. I mean, we've got hope. And as the speaking about, it's not the door, it's the internal. We have got rootedness in this business, and I said it last time that 118 years is not a joke. I mean, people's lives have been influenced by this company. People have lived through this company, retired and gone home. Others have come and found the company still going, and we hope that during our time, all of us, Mdu City, and and Eric will leave this place better than we found it, and around the public sector, it's what it is. News have been quite intense. It is a time when we saw quite a lot of news. Going on in this, and I didn't time it. It was not my timing that what happened politically happened. But the three things that I know will keep us in good stand is content, a representation wherever it will come from. I learned there's a group. There are groups of women in this organization that haven't met for a couple of years, and that representation is something I'm really attached to, and also for those who are looking for higher education, and engaging an audience that is constantly asking for more. So that's been quite a journey, and with all that, taking it in and still navigating daily challenges. Because if you look at my email, you'll be surprised at what sort of emails come into my inbox on a day-to-day basis, and how I'm managing that.
Marion, one of the things you've said, and I'm just going to dovetail off of one of those, is one of the words that you've used, I think, every time I've met you, and even the last time you were in this room, was dignity.
Yeah.
And you said, I want to dignify people, or re-dignify them where they may have lost the dignity. But you've used that often. Why?
I think it's one of my values, just to give people dignity in the way that you treat them when they are down and when they're up. That you're still consistent with them in the way they're reacting towards what is going on in the business. And it's not a secret that there's payment problems across the board with employees and with suppliers, and still we're running a business, and therefore we still have to be on the table and say, this is the truth, and this is what we're doing about it. And when we reach a certain stage, like I will do today at the town hall, is say, this is where we are, and this is what we need to do to get there, without untruths, because the untruths are safer, and the untruths can get you off for a few years, but they can't keep you out for many years. And I think dignity is one of those things you learn from your upbringing, that treat people well, and even the good book says, plant a seed and it will germinate what you've planted.
Yeah.
So you want to plant seeds of hope, and of long-term thinking, and of the company being a priority at this time when we're having a big crisis.
And coming off of that, I mean, one would imagine that you thought about this before, and that you, whether it's as an individual or filling the position that you do, you'd come under attack when somebody says, well, this is the panacea to all the problems, right? And she's here. And then people are asking, okay, so these results that we're hoping to see, when are we going to see them, How do you navigate those waters whereby there's expectation? Some of that is aggravated expectation. Some of it is shameful expectation. Some of it is desperate expectation. I mean, put any adjective to it that you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the expectation is real. How do you navigate those waters where every day is a pressure cooker moment?
And I think that when we say about dignity and navigating challenges, you've got to do it thoughtfully. And thank God that there's a support system that is available to me. And thoughtfulness is, if somebody comes at you with a 9-year bitter moment, you can't say to them, well, I didn't cause it. Ask the people.
Not my forest.
Not my forest.
My monkeys.
you can't really say that. And owning a historical issue is is a sign of what we are created as leaders to be, as mothers, as leaders to be. So, and all that has happened. I've received anonymous emails, anonymous messages, and I've encountered very, very angry people. And it's just be thoughtful about why are they in that position, and what would make them come off that position for us to work together towards a solution. Because you can't wish away a problem in a day just because I came. What I can deliver for the business is a process that works, and it includes teamwork and root cause analysis, and taking the countermeasures and taking them consistently, so that we're not stuck in a blame game, which never brings any results. And with that, I've tapped into other leaders that have gone through the same. But the way I'm navigating it is I'm keeping a very healthy mindset, a healthy lifestyle, and a healthy and empathetic look towards those very, very pressing and very aggressive reactions to what has happened in the past. And after 100 days now, I'm part of it. So there's no those guys did it. And I think, and I hope that even in this room we know that we have work to do. And in the town hall, I hope that I can carry people along a path of recovery.
Indeed. Let's take a break. The conversation continues shortly. Marion Mwangi is the Group CEO of Standard Group PLC. She is our guest this morning. We're talking about the transition, navigating the transition, and also just looking at her as a woman who is managing and navigating transition as the leader of a big organization in a big media house, the oldest media house in East Africa. And it has to do the transition.
Eastern Central.
And it's an Eastern Central. Where else do you want to add? Horn of Africa as well.
No,
you can add the Horn as well. You can add the Horn.
Horn can work.
Okay, and the islands.
Oh, wow. Okay. Keep going.
All right. So this conversation continues shortly. Remember, Standard Chartered is telling you you need to think about, this kind of priority banking. Priority banking is for you when you're thinking about building lasting wealth for your children and grandchildren. Ndu, what else?
There are many things that you can do. Number one, you can talk about the different investment opportunities that are actually available. So thinking about your children, foreign currency bonds, mutual funds, and Kenya government bonds, which help you earn in Kenya shillings, you can earn in USD, you can earn in British pounds, or you can earn in euros. You can protect your children's dreams with diversified investment solutions. So you think about, okay, my child wants to become a pilot.
Yeah.
One of the schools that they can go to, I was going to say study pilotry, but no. Study what?
Piloting.
Flying school.
You see why you will go to heaven? Anyway, so you want to do something like that, you want to secure it for your children. Some of that stuff is really expensive. So Standard Chartered says, you know what, you can prioritize that today and start putting a little bit of something away, and it will grow to enable you make your children's dreams come true. That's just one of the sectors that you can actually see how your money can grow and how you can help somebody in the future. Invest in your children's future with Standard Chartered today.
We'll be back shortly, 26 to 8.
This is the